it is Friday, June 2nd, 2023. It's about 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the evening. It is a mild 88 degrees, 51% humidity, so it doesn't feel half bad from what we're used to over here. So what we're doing today is I plan to epoxy this right now. So the process for this past week, a couple hours a day, usually about 3 hours a day after work to on this door. So the driver door is done. I don't know if I recorded, I forgot. It's an epoxy with, I think, all the filler work done. It's next door. This door was a different story. It was kind of crushed right here. I hammered it out best I could, had to use some filler. And since it was crushed there, it resulted in some funky stuff here. I had a crease, so I hammered that out a little bit to the best of my ability and used some filler. That was throughout the week. And then Wednesday, I shot it in epoxy. I put 3 coats. And I noticed that it had something funky going on here. So what today, Friday, 2 days later, I put a little bit more filler directly on the epoxy and blocked it down, and this is what I discovered. That wasn't there prior. So that's filler, and then a little bit more here. And didn't touch anything anywhere else. As you can see, we got some remnants of some filler work from Wednesday. So what I'm gonna do now is basically just get it in more epoxy. So I have some leftover material. Should be enough, hopefully, for a little 1 or 2 quick coat. Been saving it in the cup there. It's 48 hours old. So that's all I'm gonna do today. Like I said, I've been plugging away at this thing all week, and it's been quite a task. But as you can see, the filler is really thin. It's almost not even there. It's just a little bit of a wave that I noticed. So I would say tomorrow I plan to work on the fenders, get the fenders done with the filler work. And so fenders, doors, and trunks should be about done, and shell. So we're moving right along. Enough yakking. Let me start spraying. I'm going to be using the Vivor that I scored off of Amazon. A couple reviews on YouTube. One guy I watched, Triggerman, he had great reviews about it, so I went ahead and got one. And man, it really hoses it on. It's a lot different from the DeVilbiss. It's basically a Sada knockoff. So let me get you guys hooked up and I'll start spraying. All right. So that's 2 coats later, and if you guys watched, we all learned something on that video. A couple things. First thing is that epoxy had been sitting out here for 2 days, 48 hours at 90 degrees, 92, 94 maybe in here, and it was too thick for the gun. Even though when I started, it looked fine. I should have kept it inside the house, you know, more like 72, 74 degrees. So when I went to go spray it, you know, it was too thick. It was sputtering for the 1.3. And instead of stopping right there, I didn't want to waste the epoxy because I had like 6 ounces in there. And so I sprayed it over the filler and over the bare metal as a first coat, and it was really textured. And so every coat after that was textured. But good thing is it's just epoxy, it's the first step. The filler's protected, the bare metal's protected, everything is protected. Judging by what I can see on the reflection here, the little wave is fixed. So that's good. So all this is gonna get sanded in 180 before the feather fill anyways. So moving on from that. This area here, I didn't sand. Since it's within the recoat window, I was just gonna go ahead and slap a couple more coats to get some build going, and not being sanded with that Vevor gun, which is a hose. We got some cratering, which is typical of the epoxy. Like I said, good thing is it's all gonna get sanded with 180 anyways, but you know, it doesn't look cool for the video if it has cratering and dry spray or whatever's going on over here. But nonetheless, I think the body work is pretty much done on this. Filler work, I should say. Like I say, I want to get all this hung on the car, and I think the camera's overheating out here. Anyways, bring you guys back tomorrow once I start on the fenders. We're gonna get the fenders done. I should get all the filler work and get the fenders back in epoxy tomorrow on Saturday. Y'all stay tuned.